Hi, my name is Sally High. I'm a licensed mental health counselor at High Expectations Counseling, and today I'm here with,
Rebecca White, licensed mental health counselor as well.
and we are here to introduce a new group that we're starting for boundaries. And Rebecca will be running this group, and I just wanted to introduce Rebecca and also maybe ask a few questions about, the formation of the group. What is boundaries? How does it work, or how does it come together, and what are some benefits or advantages of doing a group for boundaries? So maybe you could speak a little bit on that.
Okay. Well, first off, groups can be really great outside of individual sessions that you can connect with other people that are struggling with the same issue and be able to really connect with them and have that support along the way. So that's really important when we're talking about boundaries on how we're setting these invisible lines that we have in relationships.
Yeah.
It's one thing if it's your girlfriend, like, oh, you shouldn't take that, versus what is your boundaries? Understanding what different boundaries are, understanding how those boundaries can be set, and what are going to be the ramifications of when you set your boundary going forward. Because not just going to say, hey, here's my boundary, everybody respect it. No, what that's going to feel like when you set a
Hmm.
boundary, and the guilt that we feel sometimes when you have to say no to somebody and they
Right.
didn't like it.
It's crazy the amount of guilt we feel. So I also call those my non-negotiables with my clients. What are your non-negotiables? What are those things you're not willing to negotiate on anymore?
Yeah.
And I remember it's a funny story. About 3 years ago, I was telling a client, well, you got to know your non-negotiables. And then in the back of my mind, the voice comes in. It's like, well, what are yours? I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't
Hmm.
know. But it's those things like I'm no longer willing to stay around toxic family members just because they're family if it's toxic. We're not willing to do it. You're feeling family loyalties or have to or I must.
Hmm.
You used to think you have to. It's like, no, I don't. I'm no longer willing to not speak my truth when I feel, I'm not willing to, and a lot of that came from that codependency that was conditioned from my mother, from her mother, and a lot of that wanting to, keep the peace. And so we just let anyone say anything, and we just smile and okay, sounds good. And really inside, we're like, no, I want my insides to match my outsides, and I don't feel matched. I don't feel aligned, and that's something I think that is
Yeah.
important to do.
And that's kind of the first part of, like, what boundaries do I have? What boundaries do I want to have? Because a lot of us don't know what those are. I mean, we all know about the physical boundaries based on COVID at this point in time: 6 feet away, wear a mask, wash your hands. But what about other physical boundaries that you have with other people? What's okay? What's not? Where is your hard and fast line? And how do you hold the line with other people that don't want to hold that line? So, first, understanding what boundaries are, and then start to take that step forward to say, this is my boundary,
Right.
and this is how I can become assertive and hold that boundary, regardless of how other people feel about it. Because it's about taking that inside and having it outside and it reflecting, rather than,
Right.
oh, this doesn't feel good.
Right. And also a lot about, not letting just anyone talk. I would love that phrase. You have to teach people how to treat you. You
Hmm.
have to. It's like people will just talk to you any which way.
Yeah.
And it's like, no. So if you're in a relationship where there's verbal abuse or emotional abuse and you just take it, or you say, I guess this is as good as it's going to get. It's like, well, no, where you set that boundary is, hey, maybe just disengaging. I'm not having this conversation until you can learn to talk nicer. Or maybe we can pick this up in 24 hours when you've cooled off, but I'm not doing this. Why? Because I'm not doing it. We
Yeah.
always feel like we have to give an excuse or a reason. Just cause. How's that? Just
Hmm.
because. But it's like, it's so true. It's like, no, I'm not doing this right now,
Yeah.
period. Why? Because it doesn't align with me. I'm not doing it.
It is,
Yeah.
and finding what that answer is and
Mhm.
what feels organic and genuine to you might not be for somebody else.
Yeah.
Everybody has to be able to find their own voice as to how they
Right.
set that boundary. So
Right.
that's really what I'm setting out with this group to do, is to help other people be able to find what that voice is. My voice sounds different than somebody else's
Right.
holding a boundary,
Right.
but you got to know what your voice sounds like, and you have to become more comfortable and realize it might shake at first, but it's
Mhm.
not going to shake all the time the more we do it.
Exactly. That's so true. Yeah, so it's going to be on Tuesdays.
Tuesdays from 6 until 7:30.
It's going to be a 6 week
6-week course,
session.
and start from there
Yeah.
and see where we go and see what kind of boundaries you can set for yourself and what that's going to feel like for you moving forward.
Yeah, so super excited. So give us a call. You can reach Rebecca at therapyhec.com, or give us a call 407-967-1327, or info@therapyhec.com. Any way you want. And we're super excited. So yeah, hope to see you.
Hope to see you.
Take care.